It's 31st of July, the last date to file your income tax returns. For those who haven't already, clock is ticking out there. There is no extension in sight just as yet. In fact, experts believe there may not be an extension this time around. So far, 6.1 crore people have filed ITR. So far, there is frenzy around filing ITRs. In fact, 3 lakh people are filing ITR every hour.
Wow.
That is what Income Tax Department is saying at the moment. Let's quickly get in our guest, who's also a CA, Dr. Abhishek Murali, who is the president of All India Taxpayers Association, joining us this afternoon. Sir, thanks very much for joining in. I think, my very first question to you at this point would be, people who have so far, are in a frenzy, haven't filed their ITR, are not sure if they can do it today. What happens if they miss the deadline?
So I think the most critical thing is, if we're looking at it from an outflow point of view, there's going to be a 5,000 rupee penalty that will be levied, or rather a fee, they call it, if you have a turnover or gross total income of more than 5 lakhs. Otherwise, it's just 1,000 rupees. And that's not the big one. The big one is people who have losses. Maybe you're trading in the share market and you have large losses. Maybe you've been selling an immovable property and you suffered loss. So when you don't file your return of income on the due date, which is 31st of July, provided it doesn't get extended, then you lose the benefit of the losses. So you cannot adjust it in the future years. You cannot carry it forward when you have gains to adjust the losses against. So that's the biggest concern, I would say, for people who don't file it. Of course, there are other proceedings, whether deliberately you have not done it, whether they should take any other action. Those are all there. Those are all can be fought. But the most obvious thing, which is a straightforward thing, nobody can fight, nobody can help you, is the loss of your losses for carry forward.
All right, and since we continue to talk about, ITRs, a lot of people have written to us, Abhishek. One of the questions that we have received on a previous video is that, is it required to show EPF withdrawal amount in ITR? If yes, which category and which section?
So you have to show it in your income from other sources, and it's not the full withdrawal. There is a calculation that has to be done. So it depends on what is the percentage that you're withdrawing, whether you're doing in the course of your employment, etc. All of this has to be evaluated, and only then you'll have to, offer the relevant portion to tax.
All right. And other question that we've received is, what is the minimum income to file ITR? How much should I be earning in order to file an ITR?
And this is a very practical question, because traditionally speaking, the return filing has always been income based. So you need to, if you are under the age of 60, if you have a minimum income before all your investments, LIC, PPF, PF, Mediclaim, all this, before you take all the deductions for this, if your income crosses 2.5 lakhs, then you have to mandatorily file a return of income. Now, this has traditionally been the rule for many years now, but over the last couple of years, there have been a few introductions, which is, if I'm having foreign travel of rupees 2 lakhs or more, I'm paying an electricity bill of rupees 1 lakh or more in the year. Then also I have to file a return. Even if I have absolutely no income, I can have zero income, I'm a retiree. I don't get any income at all. I don't have any pension also. But still, if you've traveled abroad, when you spend 2 lakhs or more, or you've paid an electricity bill of 1 lakh or more, you have to file your return of income. So I would say now the advisable thing is, if you're not sure whether you should file a return of income, it's safer for you to file the return of income.
Okay, Abhishek, I have a question too for you. Hi, Karthik here. So, some tweets suggest that the Income Tax Department is actually using very statistically rich regression analysis this time around to go after tax evaders or those who have not really disclosed their correct income tax returns. So, you think at such a large population level, it's easy for the Income Tax Department to do analysis like this and go after people? And if so, what advice do you want to give to citizens who haven't yet filed or have incorrectly filed their tax returns?
Well, the last speaker was speaking about AI, and I think it's very, very relevant that, you ask this question, because with data mining, data analytics, and, with artificial intelligence today, going after people who are not disclosing is very easy. Back in the day, and actually back in the day, I'm even talking about 6 or 7 years ago, where the income tax had to complete your assessment based on what you are giving them. So if you don't disclose it, it's very hard for them to find out unless they get the information from other sources. But today, everything from even your savings bank interest, whether you have capital gains or not, have you sold a property, all this information is available with the income tax, and they are cross-checking whether you have filed properly, whether you offered it properly, and they're giving you the opportunity. They have an AIS an annual information statement, and a taxpayer information summary, which is publicly available information. Every taxpayer can go and see what is relevant information is that the income tax has about him or her. So if they go and see this, they can at least offer up to that much. So definitely,
Right.
it's going to be much easier for the department. Gone are the days where they pick on a random basis, etc. The system is going to calculate. There's going to be AI which is going to mine the information and definitely pull out people
Got
who have been
it. So
evading
tax
taxes.
evaders need to be aware. Just one
And so
final
you can't
question,
you can't
Abhishek.
evade taxes if you're going out abroad. I think this is an important
Correct.
important
You can't evade
statement.
taxes,
You
whether
can't
if you're
say-
going abroad or even the fact that there are AI bots and there is enough data crunching happening to go after you if you've lied,
If you've
not just
lied.
evaded, but even if you've lied.
Right.
Abhishek, one final question. So at about noon today, Income Tax Department had tweeted saying that 6.13 crore citizens have filed taxes and about 3 lakh citizens filing taxes every hour. So till midnight, add another 12 hours into 636 lakh more Indians are expected to file taxes at the same rate, taking the number up to maybe about 6.5 CR Indians. That's a solid jump from the 5.8 CR citizens who filed taxes last year. Do you think the deadline will be extended?
Look, there are valid reasons why the deadline should be extended. You know, the various things, natural disasters, disturbances which are happening across the country. There is enough reasons for it to be extended. But I understand, why the government are not doing it. There's they've done the calculation from their end as well. But I would like to see the date extended mostly because I would say the Form 16s are not issued before June 15th. So
Yeah.
realistically speaking, people have had only 40 days to file the returns. So it would be good if it is extended, but of course now there's a penalty, there's a fee which the government gets to collect if people don't file on time. So there's an incentive not to do it as well. So I
All right.
hope that it happens, but we should wait and see.
All right,
right.
Abhishek. Thanks very much for joining us. If it gets extended, if the deadline gets extended, we're coming back to you tomorrow again. Thanks very much for taking time out this afternoon.